Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void were prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Who remembers the BJ and Bill show all those years ago on WOLZ? Well, many have said they missed the show, and guess what? They're back. Welcome to the BJ and Bill podcast.
Welcome to BJ and Bill, the podcast, a part of the Podcast Playground Network. Ladies and gentlemen, moms and dads, boys and girls, we are up to episode number 61.
61. That's awesome. It never, ever fails to surprise, in a good way, to surprise me to hear we've done 60 plus episodes. You know, how many we've done. Amazing. Just amazing. So anyway, good.
And if you've missed any of the podcast,
oh my God,
you can always go back and listen to either, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you do your potting, you will find us there.
Potting, wherever you do your potting, not potting. We're not putting plants out on the patio here. We're podcasting. Yes. Good. I love it.
I listen to Jeff Zito's, Celebrity Jobber podcast every now and again.
Right.
And he always says, thanks for potting, my friends.
Potting. That's a hard one to say. I mean, it doesn't roll off the tongue. Potting. It sounds like potting.
He's no teenager,
okay,
but he's
cool.
younger than us.
Well, good for him. I mean, maybe he's making a new word, because teenagers make new words all the time, and some of them stick around forever, like groovy. People still, grandmothers use that. Well, hell, you're a grandfather, so yeah, I get it.
Like far out, man.
Not so much, but yeah. And peace out. I didn't know until probably last month. It didn't hit me that peace out, man. That's kind of like an F off kind of a thing, isn't it? I mean, that's kind of like, I don't really want to talk to you, so peace out, go away, leave me alone kind of a thing. Oh, is it? I mean, do you know that, or have you heard that?
Well, I'm old too. I didn't know that.
I think it's kind of a good wishes to you and leave me the heck alone kind of a thing. I think. Tell me if I'm wrong, folks. Post it in the Facebook group. Let me know.
While we're talking about this, peace out means, basically, stick it where your sun don't shine. I've noticed, like on television programs, I know there are those 7 words, that you cannot say on broadcast TV, radio, or television.
George Carlin, we miss you to this day.
But I've noticed that a lot of these shows will blank out, like they will fuzz out, or you can blur out.
Right.
When somebody gives somebody the finger.
Yes.
Now, that's not, you're not saying anything. So why is that blurred out? Because I've seen it on sports. I've seen it on, regular television shows.
Right.
Reality shows.
Right.
Why is that blurred out?
Good question. And I'm not sure I know, but I'll do my best to make up an answer. And because that's what I do. I'm going to guess because it really only has one meaning, right? I mean, that you give somebody the finger, it is clear, precise, no other answer, it means only one thing. And we all know what it means, so we don't have to go into that here.
No, you're number one, I thought.
I thought you were number one. Yes, you were number. And sometimes you see that. What's her name? The only reason I know Gabrielle Reese is because she was the LSU girls basketball superstar, and I did a story about her with Shaq, that she would hold up her hand and point to the ring finger, and it was kind of almost the same, like, I'm getting the ring, the championship ring, and you're not, kind of thing. But that's kind of giving somebody a finger too. But see, that's not. And there's number one, there's the number two finger, which is of course the one we all know what it means, and then there's the ring finger. I don't You're right, though. They do blur it out, and I think it's because it only means one thing, and we all know what it means, and it's not a good thing.
And then you can do like the Boy Scout,
Yeah, Boy
three
Scout.
fingers up.
I can't do that with my one hand, but
Three
yes.
fingers up, and then you turn around and go, read between the lines, buddy.
Between the lines. That's that. Yes, you could do that too. So I don't know. I don't know why they blur, because you're right, on live stuff. Like if you're watching live news or a live broadcast of something, occasionally you will see it, but they kind of quickly turn the camera away from it. So yeah, I don't know. Don't got no answers.
Yeah,
So,
neither do I. But I just thought it was very, very funny because
right.
it seems like in sports and television shows,
Right.
they will blank that out. Like last night, I was watching Big Brother.
Oh.
And one of the ladies were being interviewed, in the little room where you get interviewed, and
I wouldn't
she
know
put
to
up-
see it, so but
she
I
put up her middle finger on both hands, and they blurred them out. And
Really?
also, I was watching Bachelor in Paradise last week, and
Wait, the old man?
no, not this is. Oh my God! I know you're not into the Bachelor franchise, but
I am not.
Bachelor Paradise is totally different.
Okay.
You go to an island,
far,
and
so good.
singles arrive.
So
For
far,
a
so
while,
good.
1 week, the girls may have the roses. The next week, the boys may have the roses. But,
Oh.
as the show goes on, like, the girls may have the roses, and then they dwindle it down and there's only 8 people.
Right.
Now, next week, the boys are going to have the roses. So for some odd reason, more girls happen to come down the aisle to play the game.
Uh-huh.
And if you don't get a rose, you go home.
Okay.
So then, some of the people that are in somewhat of a week-long relationship and think they're in love, the other ones may come in and swoop your man or woman away. And then you see scenes of the other person going, but, I thought we were getting along so well. I thought we were in love.
But not so much. Not so much. Okay. So see, it shows you how many of these bachelor, bachelorette, old people in love shows I have watched, which is exactly 0. So there you go. I see the promos, and that's about it.
I'm looking forward to see how they do on this, the Golden Bachelor.
Yeah. How's that going? Are you watching it? How's it going?
Yes, I have been. And what's this week? In fact, this Thursday night, if you want to watch,
Right.
at 8:00, they go on the hometowns. That's where they go and meet. Usually, they go and meet the parents,
Yeah, that ain't happening.
but now they're going home to meet the children
Of course.
and the grandchildren. And I know people don't see us, but maybe they've seen the promo on television. One of them goes, "Are you going to be my new grandpa?"
Uh-huh.
And another one, a little girl, I don't know what you call it, but when you take your 2 fingers and you point your eyes,
Yes.
and then you point the 2 fingers at that person.
That's the I'm watching you.
So this
I'm
little girl,
watching you.
this little girl is probably about 5, 6, 7 years old, is looking at the Bachelor, the Golden Bachelor. Take care of my grandma, and then she does a little doom. I'm watching you, you old geezer.
I'm watching you. That would be a funny moment of television. That would be great. That would be great. So, okay, cool.
Then I'm also looking forward to the fantasy suites.
What is that? You know
You
more
are
about
learning
this reality
so
stuff.
much
I'm
about
out of it. I'm out of it.
the fantasy suites. Is the final 3 can decide to, they have a date,
Right.
and then he goes and gives them the key and says, you can either take this or this key. This key is for your own private room, but this key, if you'd like to spend the night with me, it's for the fantasy suite.
Wow. Come right out and say it, huh?
Yeah. Well, they don't always have to, fool around. Sometimes they can, because the cameras are off. They give them that evening where all the cameras are off. They can talk, they can, and
Do whatever comes to
yeah,
Comes to mind,
whatever floats their boats.
so to speak.
So I'm thinking now on the Golden, Bachelor,
Right.
when they get to the fantasy suites, he's going to say, "Does anyone have a Viagra? We're going
Right.
into the fantasy suites now."
It would be like that scene you could do this would be television. You could do the scene like in the very, very, very first Matrix movie where what's his name, has the blue pill, the red pill and the blue pill. If that's the two, and he holds two pills out to the lady and he goes, one is Viagra, one is,
Vitamin C.
I don't know. What is what?
Vitamin C.
Vitamin C. One is vitamin C, one is Viagra. Choose which pill you want, and I'll see you later. Oh yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. I love that. So anyway, Fantasy Suite. Wow, that's what I haven't even heard of that. Where is that? Where do I find that? Might have
The
to look it up.
Bachelor.
Oh, that's The Bachelor. Okay.
And
okay.
The Bachelorette, all they all do the same thing
Well,
when they get down to the when they get down to the final three.
Right.
When they get down to the final three, they decide if they want to go to the fantasy suites or not.
See, this shows how much I don't watch the show. I didn't know that. So very cool. Very cool.
And very seldom do any of them pass up on the fantasy suites.
Well, I would imagine not. If you've gotten down to the final three, you're probably pretty into the guy or into the girl, whatever, and then you want to see how it goes, shall we say? And yeah, there you go. Fantasy Suite. Yeah, if they don't take it, that's pretty much game over.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
So you need to get up to snuff. Maybe your little woman, maybe you should go over there on a Thursday night and say, "Hey, dear, let's watch because it's really funny now because, all the actors have been on strike. The writers were on strike. So there's not a whole lot of new TV.
Right.
So on Thursday night, you get an hour of The Golden Bachelor, followed by the Fantasy Island, or, what do they call it? Bachelor in Paradise. That's
Bachelor in Paradise, yeah. Wow. I don't know that I could stomach 2 hours of it, but
oh no,
maybe.
it's three. The
Three?
the first hour is The Golden Bachelor. Then you get 2 hours of the island because
Oh my gosh. 3 hours.
Gilligan, it gets pretty wild on the island. I'll just say that.
This is and this is your Thursday night. This is
my Thursday night.
This is your Thursday night.
Because I am done with sports and football, that's for sure. No questions asked.
Wait, what?
I am so tired of watching the Bucks lose.
Oh yeah.
Football, to me, football is dead to me.
Oh dear. Somebody get the commissioner on the phone. And now I will admit, yes. And everybody in Tampa was thinking Baker Mayfield arrives in Tampa Bay. Oh my gosh, we're saved. And this Cleveland Browns fan put up his hand in the back of the room and went, wait a minute. Can I tell you about the Browns? Can I tell you about Cleveland?
But I don't think, what's really weird though. I don't think a lot of people thought he was the savior coming in.
Yeah.
But I think after the first couple games, I go, this guy may do all right for us.
He's got a chance.
But now I'm to the point where, what's the kid that went to Florida? Just put him in, see what he can do.
Trask,
put Trask in, just see what he can do at this point.
Right.
I guess your season is not toast yet, but it's getting close.
Well, that division, the division that the Buccaneers are in, is mediocre across the board. Atlanta and New Orleans, and oh my God, they got Carolina, who hasn't won a game. Have they won? Did they win yesterday? I don't.
Yeah, they won. They actually won a game yesterday.
Oh, they won a game. Good for them. Woo woo. Still got that first round draft pick coming, number 1 pick. So yes, they got a chance. Now, let me invite you to come over to the east side of the state. Let me invite you to come over to the Jaguars, who are one of the 4 remaining 5-2 teams. So come over to the cat side.
If I go to the east side,
You're going to Miami. I know.
yeah. But
and they're great too. I mean, yeah.
And then, of course, I will admit this, in college football, I root for the Georgia Bulldogs as long as they are not playing the Florida Gators.
Which they did over the weekend and handed them their Gator butts.
And, of course, I watched that game for a little while because I got excited too.
Right.
Because the commentators said, we really think Florida can take this game. So here's BJ.
Were they smoking something weird or what? I don't know.
Here's BJ believing the pronunciators.
Believe in the hype.
And I'm going, ooh, I may watch. This might be fun. Ooh. I watched about half of it and I said, okay. But NASCAR was truly exciting all weekend long. The guy in the Xfinity Series won the race by inches.
Wow.
And then he got into the Final Four for the playoffs.
Right.
And then, of course, I guess one of my drivers did make it into the Final Four for the Cup Series, the big boys of racing.
Right.
So I'll watch it and root him on. But most of the people I would have liked to seen in the Final Four didn't make it.
Okay. And the finals, the championship series is in Phoenix.
Yes.
I saw that promo.
And that'll be next
weekend. I have been to one NASCAR track in the world, and that's the track I've been to in Phoenix. It's a little itty bitty oval out in the middle of the desert, and it used to be nothing. And then they built it up to where it was a really nice facility, but it's still a tiny little track unless they've expanded it in 20 years.
Let's see if I can read into what you just said.
Uh-huh.
The only NASCAR track I've ever seen was Phoenix. Nowhere in that sentence did you ever say, the only NASCAR race that I ever saw was Phoenix.
I don't know. My lawnmower guy is outside. I hope you can't hear that. That's not true. I saw a race at PIR, Phoenix International Raceway, and I don't remember if it was Formula One or NASCAR. I think it was Formula One, but I'm not 100% sure. It was literally 25 years ago. It was literally 30 years ago. So I'm sure they've rebuilt that track twice or 3 times. Now, I've been to Daytona because you live in Florida. Daytona is a nice little tourist thing, and you go and you take the bus ride on the track. I've done that. But the real race to actually see a race, no, Phoenix was the one. So there you go. There you go. So that's my racing history for you. What?
And that wasn't a real race if you saw.
Not really. If it's not Formula One, I know you guys in the stock cars, you don't consider those Formula One cars to be real races, right?
No, I enjoy those also. I mean, I will.
Okay.
I'll sit down and watch about any car racing there is. I don't really get off. I don't understand. I guess it's a good sport and people enjoy it. And I think people that are motorheads really enjoy it, but I don't get the drag strip that much. But I do like to watch those funny cars zip around, but I'm not a big, quarter mile run down the. Nah, I want to see it going at least circles and zigzags. I want it exciting. I want to be able to run somebody off the track.
I was going to say, have a chance for a little swapping paint here and there. Yes, yeah. I hear you. Yes. Okay, cool. Well, good. All right. Still, I'm going to invite you to come over to the Jaguars side or the Dolphins side. Those Buccaneers there. They had their time. They had their time. Now I think it's time to pass the torch to the Jags. So I'm just saying.
I've been a Buccaneers fan for a long time.
Me too.
They were been bad for a long time.
Me too.
Or when Tom Brady came to town. So, I just don't think I'm going to watch as much football. I will wait till Monday or Tuesday. I'll watch like ESPN when I wake up on Mondays.
There you go. And the some of the games now, see, some of the games have been so bad that they're just unwatchable. Like, I mean, the Sunday night game, Chicago and the Chargers, really? I turned it off at halftime. And I don't do that. If I sit down in front of a game, I'm probably going to watch the whole thing just in case something cool happens or fun or exciting. I literally turned that game off at halftime and I went to bed. I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. You're just not, I'm sorry. And then, whatever.
Now I'm going to ask Bill Stevens the question.
Good. Time to move on to something else.
Oh, no, we're not going on to anything else. We're staying with the world of football.
Oh, dear.
But I realize that in the very beginning, you said, what's going to happen if? So, yesterday, this little blonde girl with all the musical hits didn't show up to see the Kansas City Swifters. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, moms and dads, as Bill Stevens said, what happens if she doesn't show up to the game and they lose?
And they did. I didn't know she wasn't there. Oh, my goodness.
Well, she could have been hidden and she could have been there somewhere. But as far as I know, she wasn't at the game.
No. If she's there, some camera somewhere will find her. I mean, she's just too popular. Somebody asked me that and maybe you did. Maybe we talked about it on this podcast. It's like, why are they showing Taylor Swift at a football game? Nobody cares. Football fans don't care. And I'm like, you don't understand. When the most popular music star on planet Earth, I mean, you can argue with me, I get it, but right now, this summer, this fall, the biggest name in music on the planet is at your game. You're gonna show that. It's called marketing. And now every 16, 17, 18-year-old girl on planet Earth who never gave football a second thought is glued to the TV. It's called marketing. It's called getting eyeballs on the product. So anyway, there's Bill's rant on marketing. But she wasn't at the game and they lost.
That's what I heard. I mean, I didn't watch the game.
I didn't either.
But I read something and, maybe what I read was not true.
All right. So you can't, that Bill Stevens cannot let that slide. Off to Google we go, young man.
But as you're looking that up, I do remember you saying, what are people going to say if she doesn't show up?
Right.
And they lose. Well, this may have been the game.
Right.
She didn't show up and they lost.
Wow.
And that was a game they really shouldn't have lost, should they?
Wait a minute. And they play now. You're going to make, because I didn't watch the game either. So I'm going to look it up and I'm going to tell you who did they play yesterday. Kansas City got where is it? I don't see it. Wait a minute. It was earlier. Kansas City got beat by Denver 24-9. Yeah, the Denver Broncos have no business beating anybody. So, right. So now the question is, was Taylor Swift, all right, back up. So we're Googling it. Was Taylor Swift at the Kansas City Chiefs game today? All right, today, yesterday, whatever. There it is. So NBC News, go into NBC. If the website makes any noise, I'll turn it down. And here is the headline of the story from NBC News. Okay. Chiefs lose and Travis Kelce has a tough day in Taylor Swift's absence. High-profile tight end Travis Kelce underperformed against the Denver Broncos, and his reported sweetheart, Taylor Swift, wasn't there to see it. Kelce, 6 catches, 58 yards, just last week, blah, 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 blah. Where was she? Okay.
Where was Waldo?
Where's Waldo? It does not say. Broncos fans, though, attributed the poor performance to Swift's absence, trolling Chiefs fans at Mile High Stadium and by playing her music after the team lost. Oh my gosh. That's so good.
Now, also, I read an article where Taylor and Mahomes' wife,
Yes.
and they said it's true now. It's not just, for television,
Right.
but they're besties now.
Great. Wonderful. Terrific. I get it. Yeah. I also saw a thing where Kelsey's father met her in one of the boxes not this week, but last time she was at a game, that the father was in one of the boxes and he had nothing but wonderful. Oh, she's so nice and she's not a diva and blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. Whatever. And again, we're not picking on Taylor Swift. We've talked about her in the past and you had an experience with her and all that. And I respect the fact that she's crushing it in the business out there. I get that. It's just fun to play with this sort of thing. So anyway, it does say, just to put a bow on this, it does say that she is actually returning to the tour that she's been making $1 million a night. And that starts next week. So now she's going to be unavailable on Sundays. Sorry.
Oh, wait, there's more about this.
Oh my gosh. This
now
is
you
so
said
good.
she's
We are
back
just
on
digging
tour.
into this one. Go ahead.
They said Taylor Swift now is a multi-billionaire, one of the very few female multi-billionaires.
She and Oprah, I guess, right? Or something like that. Well, good for her. I mean, again, I have nothing against the lady. I'm sure she's a good person. I mean, I don't know her personally. And I'm not a fan of her music. It's not my style. So I see it from a distance and I see what she's doing in the business. And you and I were I'm not going to say being disc jockeys at a 2-bit radio station was in show business somehow, but it kind of was. And we kind of understand how that works. So we see it and we have a connection to it. So I total respect Taylor Swift, total respect for what you're doing and crushing it and keep killing it, girl. Because, good for you. It's just I'm not going to any concert anytime soon or whatever, so there you go. So anyway, she's a multi-billionaire. Good for her.
If somebody handed me free tickets, I'd go see her.
I would too, because I understand that it's like a 3-hour, 4-hour show. It's an absolute spectacle, kind of a thing. Yes, I would see it. And I would probably come away with a couple of her songs that I'm like, oh, I really like that. That's a good song, kind of a thing. But I'm just not, those tickets are, they're crazy expensive anyway. So yeah. All right. If somebody wants to hand BJ and Bill some tickets for the Taylor Swift Eras tour, we'll go. Twist my arm. We'll go. All right. So now you bring up the next question. And where are the next stops for that?
I think she's going overseas.
Oh, really? Okay.
I could be
so
wrong.
The movie is out. So the movie is out, by the way. The movie is out.
And I think she's taking the concert overseas.
Actually, she was here in Florida. She played 3 shows at Miami at the Hard Rock just a couple of weeks ago. And
speaking of Hard Rock,
yeah.
Speaking of Hard Rock, Saturday, our buddy Shaq was in the house playing tunes as a DJ Diesel.
Nice. Yes. Actually, she's got 3 dates. 3 dates at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis coming up. So she's here in the States, and then maybe that's all it shows. I don't know if there's more to it or if those are the last 3. That's on the website, taylorswift.com/tour. Oh, tour/US. That's the only ones that are left in the States. If it goes,
I think
overseas,
she's wrapping up the
maybe
US
it goes
tour, going overseas.
Right. Yeah, well, there you go. Good for her. Again,
speaking of Taylor Swift, of course, this last weekend was Halloween.
Yes.
And this is kind of a funny fact. I went to a Halloween party.
Oh, really? Oh, obviously. Wait, I saw the costumes on Facebook. Yes, Mr. Hockey Player.
Well, my wife wanted to go to this little, adult active community shindig.
Yes.
And I don't have a costume. So I said, I'll just put on and then she had one of those ski masks. I don't know where she even got it, but not ski mask, but hockey mask.
Right.
So I wore it until everybody said, who is that? You need to show your face. I think I was freaking out the old people. So, well, I shouldn't say old people because I am one of them now.
You are one of the old people.
But I think I was freaking them out. So I finally took it off. Oh, that's much better.
Good for you.
That was so scary. We didn't like you.
Scary, really? You need that music. You need like the Friday the 13th kind of thing going on. Yeah, that would have been awesome. That would have been
But
great.
there was a Kelsey and Taylor sighting.
Oh, great. Yeah.
And then I saw some on
Wait
Facebook.
a minute. A grandma playing Taylor Swift? How'd that
Oh,
work
yeah.
out?
There was he had a,
He had how'd the Taylor Swift imitation go?
it was, I live here. It was very nice.
Okay. Happy.
I will say this. I have some younger friends
Yes.
that are around my son's age, and they pulled it off pretty good. In fact, the ones there, I think he just had like a Kansas City shirt or whatever,
Right.
like a T-shirt.
Right.
This guy had an actual Kelsey jersey, and his wife, who is already blonde,
Perfect.
had really red lipsticks on.
Yeah.
So they pulled it off pretty good, I thought.
Very nice. Very nice. Now, just so you know, by the way, for all of our international listeners out there, yes, starting the second week of November, Taylor Swift takes South America, Buenos Aires, Argentina, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, with 3 or 4 dates, Sao Paulo. And then from there, literally, she kind of takes a break for December. And then in February is back on the road in Tokyo and Australia. So the lady is taking over the planet. Good for you.
Doesn't she know that, Super Bowl's coming up?
Right.
I think she should plan for Super Bowl.
That's a damn good question. The Super Bowl is early February, right? And right. Alexa, when is the Super Bowl this season? Thank you. Alexa, stop. February 11th. And so she's not, Alexa, stop. So she ain't making it because Saturday night, February 10th, she's in Tokyo. So she ain't making the Super Bowl. Not this year. Yeah.
Oh my God.
What? It's over. Right.
I'd be breaking up with her so damn fast your head would spin.
I'm going to Vegas and placing a few bets right now for Kansas City. No way. No way are they in the big game. I love that.
You mean you can't show up for my big game and I've been to 8 or 7 or 9 of your concerts? You little biatch.
Ooh. All right. BJ Odom getting a little salty on us here. No problem. All right, everybody. Everybody take a breath. Take a breath. And we're gonna have a little coffee here, and we're gonna get BJ a little antidepressant, and we will be right back.
Without VA, I would have paid $25,000 for my hospital stay.
$42,000 for my education.
$74,000 for my home down payment. But because of my service, I paid $0.
Get what you earn. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
Welcome back. I'm Bill Stevens. That's BJ Odom. This is BJ and Bill, the podcast. You can look us up on Facebook. We get a lot of good action on our Facebook page. Thank you all for stopping by. Please continue to come by and comment at BJ and Bill Podcast. And as I remind you every week, you have to spell out the and. BJ-A-N-D, BJ and Bill Podcast. Most importantly, wherever you are listening to this podcast, whether it's Apple Podcasts or Spotify or anywhere else on planet Earth, or anywhere else in the universe, please feel free to stop by and give us the 5-star review. We very, very much appreciate it. And before the break, we were talking Halloween stuff, and BJ was saying that he had to be nice to some of the folks in his, he couldn't say mean things about costumes that he was seeing because he has to live with these people for the rest of the year. So I get that. You gotta sugarcoat things occasionally a little bit, but you were saying that some people were really going crazy.
We have a couple who live in the neighborhood who also work at Disney. And you could tell just by the way they were prancing around, they were performers.
Mm-hmm.
Also on Broadway with Cats, was not a performer, but a makeup artist for Cats.
A makeup artist. Perfect.
So these two individuals came to the Halloween party.
Uh-huh.
Facial paint, costumes. I mean, you thought you were at a Broadway play.
Did they come like as characters from Cats or what?
Actually, it was Fire and Ice.
I think, did you post that picture?
Yes, I did.
I saw that. I thought it was, like you said, I thought it was professional. I thought it was like at Disney.
No. That was at the little Halloween party that we went to Saturday night. And let me tell you, for the costume contest, no one stood a chance in hell.
Yeah, really. It's like, congrats, walking in the door. Congrats, you're the winner. Thanks. Stick around for the show. Wow. I saw those costumes. Go check out the Facebook page, folks. You'll see BJ's post there, I think. But
yeah, this drops on Wednesday. I posted it on Sunday. So
it'll be out there. Fine. Yeah, just do a search for the Fire and Ice costume. Unreal. Unbelievable how good that was. Well, like you said, professionals. These are professional people who they do this for a living. So good for them. Wow.
You know, I think if I would have been them instead of coming to but they are pretty involved in the community, what I take it. I mean, everybody knows them.
Right.
But I'm thinking if I got costumes like that, I ain't coming to a party in an adult active community.
Right.
When I could be hitting the streets of all the big parties that have big cash.
Win some prizes.
Yeah.
I remember we did that back in the day of the BJ and Bill show. We used to have like Halloween. You'd go somewhere and it would be, it would be a small little prize or something. I don't know, $25-$50 or whatever for good costumes. And some people really went crazy with them. So I appreciate that even over the years. That's good work. Cool.
So over the years, what was your craziest or most fun, I should say? I know come on, don't tell me you've never went out and celebrated Halloween or never played dress up.
And I think I talked about this a little bit on a previous show, but when I lived in Texas, when I was in Austin, my lady friend at the time, Halloween was her absolute favorite. After holiday, forget Christmas, forget what Halloween was it. The house was made up, the outside, the inside, she was made up. And so when the kids would come to the door, she would, have her witch costume on or whatever. She had long, black, curly hair, looked the part. So of course, Bill, and Halloween's I'm not a big holiday person anyway, but you bet Bill was black charcoal makeup all over, with the hair slicked back with the grease or whatever, and the black and white. So all I had to do was look like the Frankenstein monster. And I was pretty good at that. And, while she's handing out candy at the door, I would just have to stand behind her, do my thing. That was fun. That was fun for a night. It's not like I want to make a big deal out of it, but that was cool. I enjoy. There's probably some pictures of that somewhere. I should probably see if I can find them.
I think the most fun I ever had on a Halloween, I worked at Q105, and Paul Orr, Mark the Shark Wilson, and I all went to like a few parties.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we went all out because, back in the day, we actually knew some Hooters girls. So we wore Hooters outfits, and we were 3 fine looking men who looked like Hooters girls.
Nowadays, BJ, that's called inclusivity.
Well, I don't know, but we had so much fun that Halloween.
That would be good. How'd you look in the tight orange shorts? How'd you look in the tight shorts?
This was, this was probably 25 years ago, maybe 30. So let me tell you, this guy didn't look too bad back then. Maybe a little round.
Are there pictures? If there are no, what do the kids say nowadays? If there's no pictures, it didn't happen. So you got to have pictures. Come on.
There were pictures. I don't know who I need to talk to find them.
Right.
We all had, it was like we were Taylor Swift back then. I think we all had blonde wigs, and
oh wow,
we had the Hooters shirts and the Hooters shorts and I think I did have a little bit of a what you'd call maybe beer belly back in the day.
I'll bet you did. Yes.
I know we all had our bellies showing, so it might not have been the most beautiful sight in the world.
Did you add anything to the shirt to make the illusion a little more real?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay. Good.
There was, we probably used 6 large balloons. And we would have, it was Halloween. It was,
sure,
it was fun.
Sure.
And I'll just say we had, I had guys come feel me up. I had girls come feel me up. It was a good time had by all.
You didn't get propositioned at all, did you? You didn't.
I may have. I can't remember.
Oh,
That was
okay.
quite a few years ago.
Can't say I've ever been through that kind of experience, and I think I'm glad for it. So good to know.
Speaking of the balloons and things,
Yes.
and the dress up.
Yes.
Of course, nowadays in Florida, I'd probably get arrested for it. But we used to do, Frank Wilk, Sparky, and I used to do this monthly cruise that would go to Caloosahatchee as one of those little cruise boats.
Sure.
And we would do an oldies hop because that's when I worked at WDCQ, which was an oldies station.
Many moons ago.
And I would always, we'd play, we'd have fun, we'd dress up in different songs. We'd dress up a little bit.
Sure.
So I went and kind of hid away and got my little black afro wig on and my dress. And I didn't go, blackface, thank God. But we did Aretha Franklin and Think. And so I had nice, big Aretha Franklin things.
You were anatomically correct.
Yes.
Yes.
So I go out and I'd always dance around. I'd rub my, on a few men.
Yes.
So I do this to a man going and I'm having a good time. I think he was having a good time too, maybe laughing along.
Right.
We got done and I'm back over, I'm undressed again and we're, behind the DJ booth and
back in
somebody
civilian
walks up
clothes.
to me and goes, you know who you were just flaunting your balloons all over there a few seconds ago? I go, no.
Try me.
That was Deion Sanders.
Ah! Really?
Yeah. And I did not have a clue.
Of course, for those who don't know, Deion Sanders, current coach of the University of Colorado Buffaloes, big Fort Myers connection. I mean, he went to high school there, went to North Fort Myers High School. As far as I know, his mom still lives there. I think he bought her a nice house there.
Bought her a really nice house there.
Yeah.
The river.
So, huge Fort Myers connection for prime time Deion Sanders. That's funny. That's
I was prime timing it up and had no idea who I was prime timing.
That would there again. Thank God, for the most part, thank God that the iPhone wasn't a thing back then yet, and there aren't millions of pictures to embarrass us in our old age, because it would have been there's so many things I wish we'd have had more pictures of that we don't. Nowadays, of course, there's pictures everywhere. But yeah, that's awesome. That's a great story. I never heard that story before.
One other story I had when we were doing an oldies hop out on Fort Myers Beach, a place called, what was it called? I can't remember now.
The beach?
But it was like a little bar out there. And every Friday night we did an oldies party, Frank and I again.
It's not there anymore.
Yeah, nope. Oyster Bay, that's what it was called back in the day.
Okay.
So we were there and I got there early to set up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting at the bar, because we didn't have to start playing until 8 or whatever. And it was like 7:30. So I sat there probably, though, for close to an hour talking to a guy. Back in the days with oldies, I knew oldies pretty well, and I still do.
Right.
So we started talking to, about oldies music and oldies artists and stuff like that. And this guy gets up and leaves. And I go, man, I'm talking to the bartender, and I go, man, that guy knew his oldies, man. He was on it. He goes,
right.
Well, you know who that was? I go, no, it's Brian Johnson from AC/DC.
From what? Why would a guy from ACD? Well, he knows his music.
He lived out on Fort Myers Beach.
What's that?
He lived out on Fort Myers Beach.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, actually, believe it or not, his child and my child went to Bobby Noonan, which is a preschool,
right,
in Fort Myers together.
Wow.
But I didn't know him from Adam, and I'm out there, he was talking. I'm going, God, this guy is knowledgeable, man. He knows his stuff.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
That conversation would have been so much cooler if I had actually known who I was talking to.
And again, pre-iPhone, I should say iPhone, pre-smartphone, no pictures to prove it. No picture.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Again, that's a blessing and a curse. It would have been nice to have some pictures of some of the moments you and I went through in our business together. And I know I think the same thing. I interviewed some big name people, and I can't, why there were no cameras. Nobody had cameras to take pictures or whatever, me and prior to BJ and Bill, back at 96 Super Q, me and Charlie Daniels sitting in the studio together, and the place was so run down and so cheap. Me and Charlie Daniels sharing one microphone, each of us leaning into the microphone to talk about it being an interview or something like that, just crazy stuff. And no pictures. Yeah, there's no pic. They just never were. Damn, I wish there was. So anyway.
Yeah, I've had 3 of those moments where I talked to people.
Right.
And really got along with them and enjoyed the conversation and found out later who they were. Jody Messina one time, sat down in a bar with her, sat there and talked to her for an hour. Didn't have a clue who she was. Met her, well, I was actually at the country radio seminar in Nashville.
Right.
We sat down, it was, we always had a few cocktails at the end of the day.
Of course.
And all the, DJs, music directors, everybody that was there would go, like the local hangout bars. And
right.
I just sat there at the bar, sat with her for about a half hour, 45 minutes. And then the next day I actually met her and I go, oh, yeah, we were at the bar.
You were talking. And see, if you don't know who it is, they're regular people.
Yeah.
They're normal, regular people. And you don't know. And then later you find out who it is and everything changes. Your whole attitude changes. Like, oh my God, I was talking to someone. Yeah. And yesterday they were a normal human. And today they're a star in your head. And that changes everything. Yeah. So
now David Hasselhoff, that's when Knight Rider was famous.
Yeah.
And that's back in the day where I actually had a Trans Am that looked like Kit. Didn't talk like Kit.
No.
Looked like Kit.
Cool.
I met him at a Bobby Poe convention, which was more of a top 40 convention.
Mm-hmm.
That's when he was trying to get into the music business. And we sat down at a bar for half hour, 45 minutes. Of course, I had to tell him, I got a Kit car, look just like your Kit car, but doesn't do what your Kit car does. Now that's he probably said, can I just get rid of this guy? But he did sit there and talk to me for probably, 35, 40 minutes.
There you go. There you go.
Parted ways to mingle with other people, but
right.
But that one, I actually knew who I was talking to. The other 2, not a clue. Not a freaking clue.
So there you go, folks. There's the lesson for today. Just be aware that the person you're talking to at Publix or whatever, they're, who knows? Maybe they're a star, maybe not. Maybe they will be someday. Maybe you can go, I knew him when I knew her. I met her when she was a nobody or whatever it was, singing in a bar somewhere. And now she's doing stadium tours. So there you go.
Well, that's like, of course, she's no longer with us, unfortunately, but Mindy McCready.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do comedy at Beefsteak Charlie's, for those of you from the Fort Myers area.
Right.
Which our good buddy Ted Fitzgeorge.
I was going to say, shout out to Ted Fitzgeorge. Yeah.
Was actually the bar manager there. But we would do an open mic comedy night when I was first getting into comedy. But before the comedy, they did karaoke. Mindy was probably 14, 15 years old with her mom in there. That's what they let her in with her mother. And she would sing karaoke. So she would still be there as the comics were coming in, but then she would leave, when the comedy started, because she couldn't be in a bar, but they'd let her in the bar to sing karaoke.
Right.
With her mother. But yeah, that was kind of, back in the nobody knew she was going to become, somewhat of a country music star.
Yeah, it's a sad story. That is. But yes.
Yeah, she was such a sweet girl too, and just everything.
Life didn't.
Too many demons.
Yeah, demons. That's a good way to put it. That's too many demons. And some people get excuse me, some people get past those or figure out a way to have a life and still have that history. And some people, unfortunately, do not. It's a good story. I mean, it's a good, maybe we should talk more about that someday or get somebody out to talk
Speaking
about
of demons,
yes.
I'm not for sure because I haven't read a lot about it. And of course, the autopsy report isn't out. But Matthew Perry.
Right. As we're recording this on a Monday, Matthew Perry passed over the weekend in Los Angeles. The first story I saw said drowning. Does that sound familiar?
I heard he was in a hot tub. Then I also heard cardiac arrest. We all know he has demons also.
Yes.
So, everybody wonders, was it, the demons, or, did he pass of maybe
right?
In a hot tub, that can do a lot of things to you. If you really get into a hot tub,
yes,
you stay in too long, you can, one, dehydrate,
right.
Two, that can cause your, heart to do funny things.
Right. While you, of course, yours truly can't resist the urge to go over to Google. Los Angeles Times. So, not just some random website. LA Times newspaper. Friend star Matthew Perry found dead Saturday in a hot tub at his Los Angeles home. He was 54 years old. Authorities responded, discovered, blah, blah, blah. Investigation ongoing. The no cause of death has been listed as yet. No drugs were found at the scene, but a source told the Times prescription medications were recovered at the home, and a toxicology report will be part of the investigation. Well, there you go. That's not a whole lot about nothing there at the moment, but demons. Yeah. Interesting. I don't know.
And of course, my friend, I don't know if you were ever friends with him or not, in Fort Myers, who was a big radio star, Joe Scott.
I knew him, but we were not friends. Yeah. But yeah, I hear you.
So people, stay away from drugs. Drugs bad.
Drugs bad. Take care of yourself. I mean, there's so much you can do that doesn't require. I mean, go out and get some sunshine. Go for a walk. Do something. Change. And Tony Robbins is big on that. If you're a Tony Robbins fan, I don't know, but the personal development guru, it's like, do something physical with your body to change the state of mind that you are in, because your brain just is going to marinate in there between your ears and continue to go down whatever bad road it's on, whatever dead end street it's on. Do something physical, do something different, get up and dance, go out for a walk, go to the gym, do something, and it changes the chemistry of stuff. And all. I'm no doctor, but do something. There you go. That's my pitch for today.
Switching gears,
please.
Now that Halloween is over, and of course, now I guess you can officially, well, maybe after Thanksgiving, you can officially start, decorating for Christmas.
Oh, come on. Have you been to a store yet?
Yeah, I know that. Even before Thanksgiving, you can buy Christmas stuff.
Yep.
And guess what? Whatever you would call it, turns 40 this year.
Turns 40?
Yep.
That would have been 1985. I don't know who.
Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
That was only 40 years old. Really? I thought it was even older than that.
Let me check my.
Grandma got run over by a reindeer by I can't remember the name.
Hootie and the Blowfish.
Hootie and the Blowfish. All right, you're gonna make me look that one up too, aren't you? I'll bet I'll find it before you.
I can't remember this name. Oh, why did you do this to me?
You did it.
I should have looked that up before but yeah, 40 years, the 40th anniversary of being the #1 song for Christmas.
Right. Elmo and Patsy did it originally.
That was it. Yep.
Yeah. Song written by Randy Brooks. Okay. Gotcha. Yep. Elmo and Patsy. Elmo Shropshire, who lives in San Francisco. Wow. Yeah, I remembered the Elmo and Patsy, of course, but not really. It's 40 years old. Wow. Yeah. Look at that. And yes, it is available on YouTube, folks, in multiple versions. So if you don't know it, or if your kids are going, Mom, what got run over by a reindeer? What? Go look on YouTube. It's out.
Oh, I said, that's a mean song to play for kids. Oh, Santa got run over by a reindeer.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, but you're right. Nowadays, in the age of political correctness and everything else, probably you're not going to hear a lot of it. Probably not.
But I remember when it was popular.
Oh my gosh, we played it all the time.
You played it till you wanted to shoot the reindeers that ran over them or whatever.
40 years of getting run over by reindeers. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it still plays today.
I'm pretty sure you're right. Yeah. What year did it? I was going to see if I can find out the story behind Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. Boy, oh boy. For 40 years, there you go. For 40 years, the jingle Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer been one of the most popular Christmas songs. Yep. Yeah. A friend of mine, Randy Brooks, wrote it. He said, yeah. So in an interview years ago, Elmo Shropshire, who is the Elmo of Elmo and Patty, lives in San Francisco, did an interview with a San Francisco TV. He says, a friend of mine, Randy Brooks, wrote it. He said that his grandmother left him out of her will. So he took it out on her. So actually, look at that. It says on Christmas Day, 1979, Shropshire says the song was played on the radio for the first time. So, and it's been a hit ever since. Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. Oh my gosh. All right. There you go.
Now, speaking of those old corny Christmas songs, do you have a favorite?
I hadn't thought about it until this very moment, but that's probably one of them right there. Although I will still watch and sing along to The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, the original, the cartoon original version, because that's hilarious. I mean, that not hilarious. It's so clever, and I just love the dark side of it. And then of course his heart grows 100 times, and he learns to be a Christmas fan at the end of it, that old Grinch. So there you go. So yeah,
I still think mine is the Chipmunks.
The Chipmunks. Wow, haven't heard that in a long time too. Yeah. They did a Christmas song, didn't they? We probably can't play it for copyright violations, but that might be fun to put in somewhere, just a little sprinkling of that. Well, when Christmas time comes, when we get closer to Christmas time for the show, we'll round up some of those great Christmas songs and we'll play just a little bit so we don't get in trouble.
Well, I think we can do up to 6 seconds. I don't know, something like that.
I thought it was 30 seconds, but I might be.
No, I know it's not 30.
Okay, they changed that. Yeah, they changed the law on that. So we'll see. We'll ask your son, the music specialist. He knows. Yeah,
he'll know. Now, maybe I better not say that. Well, I don't know. I would say more people probably listen to his podcast than ours, maybe. But they do this, the Vinyl Boys.
Right.
And them Vinyl Boys, they do a podcast and they always play an album and review it. An older album, sometimes a newer album, and they review it and they keep the music underneath them real low while they're talking.
Right. Because if you're not using it as its own stand, I don't know the law on that, but I'm thinking that if you're not using it as the full on, here's the song and we're going to make money up from you listening to the song. Yeah. But if they're just playing it in the background underneath and they're talking over it, I don't know. Maybe so. Maybe. I don't know. I saw, by the way, just a side note, I have got to go find that. I saw you posted this. Your son interviewed Shatner. Captain
this
Kirk.
last week. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Did you listen to that interview?
I have not yet.
I am not, and I hate to say it, I know you probably are.
Oh my God.
The geek of the group, Star Trek fan.
I am the biggest of Star Trek fans. Yes.
But the way he believes in life and the way I got into the interview.
Awesome.
Not even being a huge Shatner fan, but just by his age,
right,
and his wisdom,
right,
and the things he talks about. That's backstage with Gentry Thomas, by the way.
Right.
May want to check out this week's edition of Gentry Thomas backstage this week with William Shatner.
Unbelievable. And yes, you're right. I have seen other interviews with him. And I mean, you can't be, what is he, 94, 95? You
94,
can't be that,
I believe, yes.
94. You can't be that old and not have some wisdom. Life just happens to you. And if life has been happening to you for 94 years, you're gonna pick up some pretty important wisdom and knowledge along the way. I know that. So,
which reminds me, Bill and I, well over 120 years of wisdom, and we share it every week right here on this podcast.
That's when you add it together. Yes. So we have 120 years of wisdom. So yeah, but we're not writing any books anytime soon. Oh, maybe we will. Who knows? It might be fun. So That's awesome. I love that idea. You had a big list of things, and we got to none of them this week, as often happens.
I mean, one of them was obviously the Patsy and Elmo.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
40 years old.
Go find
I wonder
it.
I wonder if it came out in this month, because it was in this last week's, things to talk about prep. So I said, oh,
right.
Better put that towards the top.
Well, we got some time before Christmas shows up, so go out and find that song. Introduce your kids or your grandkids to it. If they have not heard it yet, it might be just make sure they don't, and I hate to say this, don't make sure they don't get triggered by it, which is the dumbest thing ever. But just tell them it's for fun. It's just funny. I mean, when you think about it, the original Bambi has been traumatizing children for 100 years now, right? I mean, come on. You couldn't make that cartoon today. You could not do it. But here we are.
Who actually shot Bambi? Was it Elmer Fudd? I can't remember.
No.
Oh, I'm hunting deers today.
No, that's not how it happened. But thanks for putting a little humor back into it at this point.
Hi, I'm Elmer Fudd.
Be very, very quiet. We're hunting rabbits.
But today, I'm hunting Bambi.
No, we're not hunting Bambi. Two different, that's crossing the streams from Ghostbusters. You can't cross the streams. One is Disney and one was Warner Brothers. You can't cross the streams. I'm sorry.
Oh, if you're being
funny as hell, but you can't do it. So I get it. All right, cool. All right, folks, go and do your Christmas shopping. We know it's not even November. Well, when you hear this, will it be November? It might be November by the time you're hearing this. I don't know. But as we record this, it is the end of October, and, Halloween comes and goes, and already, poor Thanksgiving just gets totally lost in the rush to commercialize Christmas. So go out and buy your Christmas goodies now, because, God knows the world's coming to an end next year anyway. So it's okay.
Speaking of Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I'm hoping, and I think it should have happened before now.
Uh-oh.
But I'm hoping maybe the gentleman that my daughter has been, running around with.
Dating.
You
could say dating.
Well, I don't know. In case you would be listening, I don't know what to say anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say something I shouldn't have said?
There are certain words you just can't say anymore.
Dating?
That's like I said. Is he your boyfriend? No. What is he? He's somebody I run around with. Well,
he's a friend, and he's a boy. He's a boyfriend.
Yeah, that's why. But
yeah,
so
I know.
So I don't know what to call him. What he is.
Okay.
All I know is for the last, I've known each other for probably 6 months, but it seems and I don't want to, again, I don't want to put words into her relationship.
Okay.
But to me, in the last month, it seems like it's gotten a little more serious. That's all I'll say.
Okay, then.
I think it's serious enough where I meet this young man and say to him, one guy has already messed her up. If you're number two, expect bullets in you somewhere along the line.
I'll just be sitting here cleaning my gun.
Yes, I will be.
That country song. I love that one. Yes. All right. So you have not met this young man yet?
No.
Okay.
I think it's time.
I think it's, yeah. I mean, I don't want you, don't say it if it's personal information or if she'd rather not. How old is she now and how old is he? Do you know?
I think let's just say she's in her 30s.
Right.
Didn't say that very loud. You notice that?
No, we're keeping.
And I think he's in his 40s.
Oh, a little older.
And I'm going to guess, this was pretty much going to give it up though, but I'm going to guess there's about, maybe 5-6 years difference.
Okay.
I'm going to guess.
Okay.
Could be totally
there's
wrong.
nothing wrong with that. No, I'm the difference between my lady friend and I is more than that. So that's fine. Okay. So yeah, you probably need to meet him. I mean, but at that age, he's probably well established. I mean, I'm assuming he's, good, well employed and upstanding. I was going to say young man, but if he's in his 40s, he's not a young man anymore.
I did hear what he did for a living, and that's a job that can pay big bucks. And I don't know how big bucks that pays, but
Okay.
could.
It could.
Not a doctor or a lawyer, but some other high tech. Let's just say that, yeah, he has a high tech job.
Cool. All right.
Him and Bill. Maybe I should have you be me,
And
because you'd probably get along better with Bill Stevens than you would my daughter's dad.
I get it. I mean, I'm happy to interview him for you if you'd like, but it's probably better for you to talk to him, Dad. I'm sure it's better for you. All right. We're going to leave it at that. I wish you luck with the soon. So wait a minute. So just to put a cap on that, we started this conversation with holidays coming, blah, 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 blah. And then you kind of veered off onto your daughter. So I can only assume, being the skilled and trained reporter that I am, that you might be anticipating some sort of big announcement from your daughter before the end of the year. Do I have that right, Mr. Odom? I
don't know if there'll be a big announcement, but I'm more or less hoping, well, maybe that we can talk this guy into going to Fort Myers for Thanksgiving and meeting the family.
I see.
And I think my son would be a much better interviewer than an old guy like me, since they're kind of like close to the same age.
Kind of not quite, but almost brother and sister. Yes.
I can go, son, get me the info I need.
Right.
Do whatever it takes.
So you weren't. So see, I was thinking of even bigger announcement. I was.
Oh,
thinking,
no.
Oh, okay.
Announcement is that we get to meet the bum.
Okay. All right. Fine. So it's not that far down the road yet. So, but you're right.
Well, I'm the dad.
Right.
Probably her mother would be a better answer to that question than me.
Oh.
But I wouldn't be expecting a big announcement.
Okay.
Before the first of the year. But,
okay.
Stranger things have happened.
And will continue to happen right here on this program. Yes. All right. And there's a wrap for you if ever there was. All right. We went over the hour, but we had a great time. Awesome. What a great show today. Thank you. Thank you all for listening. Spread it around. Remember, BJ and Bill podcast on Facebook. Just look up the group. But more importantly, help spread the good word by putting out that 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you pod. That's where you should leave your review, and we would appreciate it.
And make sure, too, if you see it on Facebook, to share it. Share it would be much, much appreciated. Go to BJ and Bill podcast, because we have a Facebook page we'd love for you to be a part of. We ask stupid questions, which sometimes
we do. I've
been told that's not a good thing, so I'm trying to stay away from those. Like, they go, well, don't ask people what their first car was. That's you can figure out their pet. I'm not trying to figure out no one's password, but I'm trying to stay away from those type questions now.
Okay, good. While BJ Odom gets his social media act together, you all have a good week. We'll see you again next week. Until then, it's just up to BJ Odom to say,
see ya!
Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. It's a thing. And now the truth is out there. I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free anytime, anywhere. And each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.